All right, we're going to do that again. First, let me say greetings, blessings to the Sabbath Saturday. I'm glad that everyone arrived safely, and I pray for your safe return home. I am here as the second generation of messenger of health through the Most High God. It's not about living to eat, it's about eating to live. And I'm here to give you a whole new attitude about food. So, if you love the Most High God, clap twice. If you love food, clap once. All right. So everybody should have a folder, either blue or yellow. And I want you to open it, and on the left side pocket, I want you to take out the packet. I want you to follow along with me. So, what is the first important meal of the day? Very good. So, everybody here, we live busy lives. Some of us work 2 jobs or 1 job. We're going to school. We're raising our children. We're raising elders, and we're running. And we're running, and we're running, and we're running. I'm going to try to talk as quickly as I can, but I want to make sure you take notes so you can use that same pad and pen that's in your bag. And just know that I'm going to give you as much as I have. How many of you love Starbucks? Be honest. Raise your hand. You're making Starbucks rich. So, if you look on the first page where it says rethink your drink, and if you look at the bottom row, we have a frozen mocha with whipped cream with 13 teaspoons of sugar. All right? So now, let me explain to you about sugar. Sugar is a good thing, and sugar can be a bad thing. Too little sugar can be a bad thing, but too much sugar can be a good thing. So when you go and buy that macchiato, that iced coffee, you get all of that caramel drizzled on top. And then this is one of the most popular American desserts that most people eat for breakfast because they didn't have time to make breakfast at home. So you have this, which is fried. It's not baked. All of Dunkin' Donuts are fried. Starbucks, same thing. So this has about 12 grams of sugar, not counting the glaze. Okay, so you're washing that down with a cappuccino. So by the middle of the day, you start getting sleepy. You haven't even had lunch yet. And that's because you're overloading your body with the wrong sugars. So what I want to talk to you today, and it's a lot, I'm going to try to get as much as I can in. We're going to go to the second page. One of the biggest health problems in this country is obesity and diabetes. The childhood obesity rate in this country is number 1 in the world. It's 57% amongst our children. And why is that? Because parents, y'all got to stop being weak. When they start whining, they throwing themselves on the ground, you give in. You give in to the cotton candy. You give in to M&M peanuts. And I'm going to show you what this is really made of. And once this stuff gets in your child's body, it starts jacking their system up. It raises their sugar level. The coloring makes them run around the house like Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, it was a movie. I don't know if you took your kids to see it. When they're zipping from one side of the room and they're zipping across the other side of the room, and some of them manage to crawl up the wall, that's because all of the additives and coloring and sugar has overloaded their little bodies. And what is another thing that you notice? Even when you go to a children's birthday party and they have candy stations, and by the afternoon, all of them are running and they're sweating. That's because they're overloading their bodies with too much sugar and the kidneys cannot handle it. Just as much sugar as you put in, you have to give your kidneys time to flush it out. So when you take in high levels of sugar, and high levels of salt. That's why with sugar, it turns into diabetes, because you're taking in more than what your body can get rid of. And that's why people who are diabetic and who don't control their diet, they get their toes amputated, they get their legs amputated, and they get their arms amputated. Does anybody remember the show What's Happening? Back in the 70s? The one that plays the mother? Fantastic actress, Mabel Key. That's what happened to her. She was diabetic. She didn't watch her diet. Both legs amputated and her left arm. And that's how she left this world. It is very important that we understand food. And one of the things that I want to explain, that this season, there's 2 seasons of the year that are the worst time of the year when it comes to food. Summer and fall and winter. Why? Because everybody is eating. You're going to barbecues, you're eating hot dogs, which is processed food, hamburgers. Now, some people do eat beef. People who are anemic, yes, you should eat a hamburger every now and again. But can anybody tell me how many days does it take for a hamburger to digest in your system before it leaves on out of your body? Takes 3 days. So if you had for breakfast sausage, egg, toast, for lunch hamburger, fries, dinner steak, potatoes, you done overloaded your body for the day. And hopefully you'll be able to go to the toilet. I don't want to just teach you about the bad foods. Oh, let me go back. Let me go to the holidays. That's even worse. Because at least in the summer, you can burn it off. You can burn it off in the winter, but most people don't like to go to the gym. Why? It's cold. So during the holidays, you have desserts. All kinds of desserts. You have coconut cake, chocolate cake, red velvet cake, carrot cake, sweet potato pie, blueberry pie, apple pie, cherry pie, and peach cobbler too. And you are ingesting that in one sitting. Okay? And you're not, most people do not drink water. They drink what? What's on the table? You have apple cider, you have sorrel, but you have Pepsi, Coca-Cola, orange soda, and grape soda, which are the worst things to drink. I'm here to teach you about food. And the main 2 things that I want you to learn for yourself is choices and moderation. Please write that down. Those are your tools, choices and moderation. Over the years, I would have conversations with people and they would say, oh, well, I can't afford organic food. It's expensive. Or, I get SNAP food stamps and, choices. Because once you go in the supermarket, you have the power over what you decide to pick that is going to go in your shopping cart, which you're going to take home and feed your family and yourself. So, as we said, most people start off their day with the fantastic donut and the macchiato, right? Let me just show you how much sugar is in that donut. You have all kinds of sugar. You have white sugar, and the reason why it's white because there's no nutritional value. You have brown sugar, which is the reason why it's brown because it has molasses in it. You have maple syrup. You have turbinado sugar, and now they have agave. Agave is natural, but moderation. And then you also have honey. Honey is a healer. It's a healer. You can actually take it and put it on a cut, and it will heal your cut. However, you have to be careful of the kind of honey that you buy. It's important that you buy raw, unfiltered honey. Please write that down. Do not buy the honey that's in the supermarket that says U.S. fancy honey. That's not real honey. Buy the raw, unfiltered honey. And don't go overboard. Some people like to put honey until your drink is sweet. That's not the way to go. A teaspoon. Because remember, honey is sugar. It's still sugar. Do we have any Kool-Aid fans out there? Be honest. Okay, we got an honest person over here. Okay, so as we know, those of us who grew up poor, I'm from the Boogie Down Bronx, born and raised, very proud. Even though we didn't have it in our house, a lot of my neighbors did. Kool-Aid. And how do you sweeten Kool-Aid? And when I mean it was sweet, it was sweet. So that's why all of us, my friends, we would be outside for hours, running around playing ball, handball, to burn off the sugar. Okay? So please, stay away. So I'm just going to show you real quick. So we said that the macchiato had about 14 teaspoons. This has about 10. I'm going to make this real quick. Okay, so this is what you're eating for breakfast. This is not counting the macchiato and the cappuccino. Okay, so this is what's in the donut. Okay? This is what's in the donut. That's including the glaze that's on top. So, what is an alternative? Good old nice oatmeal. So now, you have a choice. You can have it hot. So now oats. Oats is very high in fiber. It also has phosphorus, potassium, and it has an ingredient called silica. Silica helps make your hair shiny. It makes your nails healthy and nice and white, but it's also good for your muscle tissue. It helps keep your muscle tissue very strong. I used to eat this a lot because I'm a martial artist and I work out a lot. So anybody in here who runs, if you're a runner, if you're athletic, very good to add oatmeal. If you don't like it hot, you can get the cereal, the cold cereal. But one thing I want to stress, is there anybody in here who is lactose intolerant? That means you do not drink cow's milk? Okay. Is there anybody in here asthmatic? Do not drink cow's milk. Why? Cow's milk is very high in mucus. So that's just like you taking a can of whipped cream and squeezing it in your mouth and swallowing it. The milk is doing the same thing, and all that's going to do is just fill up your lungs with mucus. So anybody who is asthmatic, or if you know anybody who is asthmatic, you tell them to stay away from all dairy. That includes butter and cheese, and especially cheese. Cheese is very high in sodium. I know we got some pizza lovers out there. Pizza is okay once in a while, but I'm talking about the block of cheese. I know we got a lot of macaroni and cheese fans out here. Well, you gotta watch the sodium in the mac and cheese, because I know that's a part of the barbecues that all of y'all are going to. So just watch the sodium count on that. So this is a great choice for breakfast. So now we're going to go to snacks. Turn to the next page, please. Those of you who have a cubicle at work, you have that favorite drawer on the side where you keep your stash, right? You got your Butterfingers in there, you got some M&Ms in there, and you got some Skittles in there. Well, I'm going to show you what this is made from, because you popping them 3, 4, 8 until the bag is finished, and that's when your break is over. So I'm going to show you what it's made from. We have red number 40. These are all dyes that are in your food and in your snacks that you eat. Blue number 3. There's also blue number 4. You have red number 40. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of this in there. And then we're going to add some sugar, right? Okay. Who eats Skittles? Your body is just like a car. That's how my father taught me. When you don't change the oil, the filters, you don't get a tune-up, right? What happens to your car? You're out on the Jersey Turnpike, all of a sudden you hear something cranking and clicking, and then the next thing you know, you're stuck in the middle of the highway. The same thing happens when you eat this and Butterfingers and chocolate over time. You're in the shower, and you're washing yourself and you go to lift your arm and you feel a lump in your breast, or you're having stomach problems, you're having diarrhea and you don't know why, or you have acid reflux because you're chucking down them sausages with all of that relish and onions every barbecue that you get to, and you're wondering what's wrong. Maybe I didn't drink enough soda. An alternative to the junk food, we have good old popcorn. You have all kinds of popcorn now, all different flavors. It's a great thing to eat. It's healthy. Corn has a lot of fiber. So this is an alternative to your Skittles and your Butterfingers. And granola bars. So now you have all kinds of granola bars, but just eat one. Granola bars have sugar too, but they're made from oats. So I just want to mention something that I talked about on Pastor Stephanie's, the last show that I did about nutrition. Has anybody ever heard of celiac disease? Okay. Sometimes you can have two people eating the same food. It'll benefit one person, but then the other person, it can make them sick. So what happens with oats is people who have celiac disease, they cannot digest the enzymes in the food. So their body reacts to it. What I always tell people, listen, please write this down. Listen to your body when you eat. And that's why I said, don't live to eat, eat to live. We just eat. Everything going in, the aroma, it tastes so good, it smells so good, and we just eat. And then the next thing you know, we have health problems. We can't pinpoint it. We run to the doctor, and what does the doctor do? Prescribe you medication that you don't need. And all it is that there's something that you're eating that you need to eliminate from your diet. That's all it is. So every time you eat something, just listen to your body. See how it reacts. I realized when I was a kid, I used to eat peanut butter, but then what happens is when we get older, our metabolism changes. We can't eat the same foods that we ate as a little kid. I can't eat peanuts or peanut butter anymore because my body reacts very badly to it. Don't think you can get away with what you ate as a kid now because your body has changed. Especially for women, we go through the change of life. Guess what? Men do too. Men, are you listening? Yes. Men go through the change of life too. Haven't you noticed that, ladies? Those of you who have husbands and boyfriends, they get snippy and they get cranky and they get an attitude. That's what that is. It's not just pride. Is their body is going through changes too, just like yours is. And so men, I gotta put this down. Men suffer the most when it comes to health ailments. Why? Because of pride and fear. We can throw that into stubbornness. Men, it is very important that you take care of yourselves. Don't think because you're a man that you have a tough exterior and that you can eat all kinds of food and that you'll work it out at the gym. You'll bicycle it off, going biking. That's not how the body works. A lot of men suffer in silence. When you get prostate cancer, you can be diagnosed on Monday and be dead the next week. Because what happens is cancer cells multiply quickly. And we generate 10 million cells every day. Every day. So if you're not feeding your cells good food, what happens? Your cells are dying off. That's what disease is. That's exactly what disease is, the dying of your healthy cells. So men, eat healthy. Now, I just want to say to everybody, You can have your little favorite. My favorite food is carrot cake. I have it twice a week. It's about moderation and choices. This teach yourself discipline. Pick a day of the week that you want to have your sweets. That's okay. And make sure you wash it down with some water. Not soda, not Kool-Aid, not even ginger ale. And please don't be fooled by ginger ale. It's still soda. Especially for the men. This is breakfast for you. And so if you want to go to the moon and back, yep, that's what happens when you drink this. This gives your body a quick high and a quick shutdown. Stay away from Red Bull and these drinks. If you want to get your electrolyte, you got coconut water and you got salsa. All right.